Oh, okay. Good question. Yeah, I'm not sharing. Yeah, I was testing the attention of the online audience. Oh, did I not log in as? No, I did, right? Then my share screen is not enabled. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what's Bhagavad Gita according to your understanding? So let's go around the room and Pawan.
So, according to me, I think you have the moment Bhagavad Gita is all about to know what is spirituality and how do you control your good, bad emotions, including everything basically. That's what I feel.
Okay.
And it teaches how do you make steps in your life in good, bad, and how do you control your entire life.
Okay. How do you make decisions in your life?
Decisions.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Anything else?
That's what I think.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Samarth.
So what I think is about Bhagavad Gita is like all about the gods
Mhm.
and what he helped about in the world. That's what I think.
All about God
And what did he help?
how did he help
Yeah.
everyone in the world?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Harshani.
So I think something what Krishna did to teach everybody like how it goes and what are the things, how to face and how to get rid of something like that. It was all written in a book.
Yeah.
For the future generations.
Okay.
That's what I feel.
Okay. Excellent. Ikshita.
Yeah, I think that's a collection of
Okay.
what do we derive from
Nelapattu.
Online.
Can I say something?
1 second. Yeah.
Okay.
What? Pinni.
Second one, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like that's the gist of it. I see it as a story,
Mhm.
and then whatever morale we have to derive from it, we can. It differs. It's not like the realm of thought, right? If it's a law that's equal for everyone, and everyone should understand it as it is.
Yeah.
But it depends to an individual how they are perceiving it. It's respected to that individual.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Okay. Sure. Aman, you have anything to say?
I think it's like a consolidation of all the questions of that a person could have in his lifetime and their answers in one form or another.
Okay.
And that's what it is.
Okay. Perfect. Bhagavad Gita has answers to every question in this world. Yeah. You want to say anything?
I see that a roadmap to find yourself, to discover yourself, any problem that you encounter, you can find a solution in that.
Okay. Yeah.
It's more like a roadmap.
Perfect. You pick the title of our course, yes. Discover Yourself. Bhagavad Gita helps us discover ourselves. Yeah. In 18th century, Faraday discovered light. Okay. And then in 19th century, Einstein discovered theory of relativity. And in 20th and 21st century, what are you going to discover?
Discover yourself.
Discover yourself. Yeah, very good. Discover yourself. So Bhagavad Gita helps us discover, who am I? Who is God? What's my relation with God? Why am I here? Why am I suffering in this world? Bhagavad Gita tells all these things. Yeah. Okay, now let's see online if anyone has anything. Oh. Yeah, so someone wanted to say something, right? Was that Shashank's mother?
Yes. Just I want to say your question is, what is Bhagavad Gita, isn't it?
Yeah.
What it stands, what it gives us.
Yeah.
Simple, in a layman language, I can explain that Bhagavad Gita gives us the daily life problem solution.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we are facing in our daily life, it gives the solution.
Yeah.
So if you are, this is the main thing of Gita, and it explains that what, like day-to-day life, people suffer from depression, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially in
So if
Seattle.
he learns Gita, if he understands Gita,
Yeah.
there is no depression at all in the world.
Yeah. Excellent.
Am I right?
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said.
This is the main purpose of Bhagavad Gita,
Mm-hmm.
and it solves our all the problems of life.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Well said, Auntie Ji. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Shiva, I know you're doing some service in the temple, but if you are able to speak, so what is Bhagavad Gita according to you?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Probably I will say in one liner, I can say it's a manual for our human beings how to live your life. A manual.
Yeah.
So like
Manual,
it
which
teaches
guides us how to lead our life. Very good. Very good.
Exactly. That's what I understood, Prabhu.
Okay. Very good. I thought you would say Bhagavad Gita means washing pots.
When I say manual, Prabhu, it includes that washing pots also, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Very good. Yeah. Bhavya, do you know what is Bhagavad Gita?
Chappu.
Very Sahana. Oh, she went inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Chappu.
చదివావా నువ్వు భగవద్గీత చదివావా భవ్య?
No, I did not read.
ఓకే, విన్నావా ఎప్పుడైనా?
But book is there.
Book is there as it is. Very innocent. That I did not read, but book is there. Very good, very good. So, did you hear Bhagavad Gita from anyone? Anyone singing or anyone speaking? Okay. Okay, Akul and Ashrit. Do you know what is Bhagavad Gita?
The Bhagavad Gita tells the rules of how to live a meaningful life.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, Akul.
It's a long religious text that was composed between the 2nd century BC and the 2nd century AD. That's all I know.
Okay. Okay.
And also it's very like sacred and religious.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So
Okay, so let's see what
We should ask Chat GPT. What is Bhagavad Gita?
Chat GPT. Yeah, by the way, Chat GPT has become so popular these days, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, I'm quick ask it. Okay, go.
Yeah, it's so popular. Yeah.
We don't know what that is. Yeah.
Oh, you don't know Chat GPT?
What is that?
How come you are living in this material world without knowing Chat GPT? Oh yeah, that's right. They're already separated, elevated.
I don't know.
Oh, Chat GPT.
Yes,
It's a repository of entire information in the entire world.
like Wikipedia or something. No,
It's more powerful than Wikipedia. Artificial intelligence powered by AI.
AI,
Powered by AI.
Microsoft invested $10 billion in it. That's what it's worth.
No, they are
Getting artificial intelligence.
the best part is ask it for anything, right? Essays, do coding,
Yeah.
anything. You can ask it anything, it will do it for you.
Do homework.
Well,
Kids can use it for homework.
You know, the accuracy of it is defined by if it makes mistake, like anybody human being will make mistake. Like if you ask Bhagavad Gita, I can tell anything, and then you will say that it is
Making
make
mistakes.
no. If it is making mistake, yeah, it is close to how
More
human
natural.
beings think.
Yeah.
More natural. So whatever you say,
sorry also, right? It says sorry, right?
I don't know.
I heard that it says sorry. It says something.
Alexa won't say.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Okay. So let's see what we learned from Srila Prabhupada. What is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is a life manual, as Ashrit said, and someone else. Shiva Prabhu said, Ashrit also, that little boy, Ashrit also said, Bhagavad Gita gives us a set of rules how to lead life. Okay, life manual. So just like we use GPS to drive from one place to another place, or whenever you buy any product, it comes with a manual. You can use the product without manual also, but there's a difference in the way how you use with manual and without manual. If you read the manual and use the product, you are able to utilize the complete purpose. You're able to utilize complete purpose of the product and use all the features of the product. Otherwise, it's all experiment, right? You have to make guesswork, and maybe the product works this way or that way, and you may not know all the features that the product has. For example, iPhone, every year new version comes, and nobody reads manual, right? Everybody is worried or concerned about only the phone, WhatsApp messages, and phone and camera, nothing else. But if you read the manual, probably there are more features that you can become aware of, and you can use the best use of the product. So like that, Bhagavad Gita is a life manual. It guides us how to lead life in this material world. So we are all suffering. Everyone is suffering in some way or the other. The poor man is suffering. The richest person in the world is suffering. The ugly person is suffering. The most handsome person or the most beautiful woman is suffering. A young boy is suffering, and the 90 years old person is suffering. Everyone is suffering in this material world. There is no one who is not suffering. So Bhagavad Gita teaches how to get rid of our miseries. First of all, it tells why are we suffering? Why are we suffering in this material world? Why are we living in this material world? What's the origin of our existence? What's the origin of this universe? And why are we suffering? Why are we here, first of all, in this material world? This is a question that I had 10 years ago. Before I started reading Bhagavad Gita, I really had this genuine question. If God had not created me, probably I wouldn't suffer. So why did God create me in the very first place? Who asked God to create me? He created me without my permission. How come? So I wanted to take God on trial. Uh, so I had that genuine question, how did this karma begin in the very first place? Coming from Indian background, we all believe in karma theory. Good karma, bad karma. If you do good things, you enjoy the good results from it. And if you do bad things, you suffer from the consequences of it. But how did this whole karma cycle began in the very first place? What's the purpose of my life in this material world? Who created me? Why did God create me? So I had these genuine questions, and then just like different people followed different spiritual organizations, like Uncle Ji, he went to Brahma Kumaris, and he figured out his questions are not answered there. That's why he came to ISKCON. And Sudhakar and Jyoti, they bought a book of Yogananda, and they didn't find answers there, and they came here.
Flying up high.
Yes, yeah. But every time he thinks he's flying up high, he's coming down. He's falling down. That's why he wants to find a permanent solution to fly high.
Stay there.
Yes. So,
Oh, he wants to take with him Jyoti.
yeah.
He's coming now.
So like that, I also approached different spiritual organizations like Art of Living, or so many different organizations, but nowhere I could find a convincing answer. And when I was working for Oracle, one day I had a conversation with a colleague who has been practicing Krishna consciousness for almost 20 plus years. And one day I asked these questions to him, and he said, yes, we have answers to all these questions. Please come and attend a course on Bhagavad Gita. And I attended the DYS, Discover Yourself, the crash course on Bhagavad Gita, 7-week session. And that changed my life. That answered all of my questions. And since then, I have been reading Bhagavad Gita almost every single day. And I have been going to the temple every single day, participating in the devotional services. Life has been wonderful in the last 10 years. After reading Bhagavad Gita, life has been wonderful. So one definition of Bhagavad Gita is it's a life manual. It guides us how to lead life in this material world. And it's a law book. That's another perspective of Bhagavad Gita. As Ashrit mentioned, right? The little boy Ashrit. So Bhagavad Gita gives a set of rules to follow and how to be a good person in this world, how to be a good citizen or good person in this world. So law book, Bhagavad Gita has tons of do's and don'ts, things that we should do as human beings, things that we shouldn't do as human beings. What's the difference between human beings and animals? So again, these basics we covered in the Discover Yourself session. But whoever missed those DYs, you did not miss much. Okay. So because I didn't teach much. So Bhagavad Gita, it helps us inquire the absolute truth. It reminds us the human potential. It reminds us the differences between animals and human beings. And it really provokes us to think about the higher purpose. It helps us start asking questions. Who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? Gita has all this knowledge. Bhagavad Gita has instructions about how to be a good human being, how to grow beyond good human being, and how to become a good spiritualist, how to become a devotee, and how to become a spiritualist. And Bhagavad Gita also teaches what to eat, what not to eat. It's a law book, right? So it must have instructions for everything. It must have information about the do's and don'ts for everything. And it does have. It has information about the food, the type of food that we should eat, the type of food that we should avoid, and the type of things that we should do and the things that we should not do. Everything. So in 700 shlokas, Krishna has given all these instructions, the do's and don'ts, in a form of a law book. So it's basically a book of principles. Okay, Krishna has given principles in 700 shlokas. 700 shlokas in 18 chapters. Okay. And if you want to know more about those principles, Krishna has given these principles at a high level in 700 shlokas. And if you want to know in detail about these principles, then there is other literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, that is like a law journal. Just like an attorney, when he has to contest a case in the court, first he has to understand the principles. He has to know the law, and then he also has to refer to some case studies that happened in the past, which are similar to the present case that he's contesting in the court. So that is law journal. So there is a law book that talks about the different sections and codes of the law, the civil law or criminal law, whatever. And then there are law journals, the big books that contain case studies of the previous cases that happened in the past. So Srimad Bhagavatam is a vast literature. It has 12 cantos, 18,000 shlokas. Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas. Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 shlokas. That has case studies of different personalities from ancient times. So what happened if they did not follow the principles established by Krishna, and what and how their life was if they followed Krishna's instructions. Okay, so we have both sides. And then yoga book. Bhagavad Gita is also known as yoga book. So what is yoga? Can somebody define what is yoga?
Joining of two things.
Okay, joining of two things. Yeah, that's the Sanskrit word, the meaning of the Sanskrit word. Yoga, it comes from yuj. Okay, yoga comes from the word yuj, which means to connect, to join. Okay. So, but what are we connecting? What are we joining? To God.
Basically, with God.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu.
I mean, you were asking what are we joining? Something like that.
Can you speak a little
So
louder?
basically, you were asking what are we joining? Yoga. Yoga means use of the word to unite ourselves with God, with oneself, basically, with oneself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Could you hear me? To unite with oneself, I'm saying. With the inner self of.
I think you can. Are you able to hear us, right?
It's little choppy. The voice is a little choppy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
We got the essence. Yeah, we got the essence. So she said unite or connect.
With
Unite,
oneself.
join. These are all. Yeah, unite the divine with self.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So in today's age, the definition of yoga is completely changed. Okay. There is hot yoga, Vikram yoga, Hatha yoga, Vipassana, and there is chair yoga, bed yoga, so prenatal yoga. So many
Yoga is
things.
defined as if you have any body pains, go to yoga.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, these days yoga means some asanas, some postures. Yeah, to maintain good health. That's all is yoga. And the Western people, they got this yoga from East, from India, and then they adulterated it, they contaminated it, and then the contaminated version went to India, and Indians are liking it. Indians are liking it. Oh, hot yoga, Bikram yoga. Yeah, it's imported, yes. Anything that's imported is valuable. So, yeah.
It's a
But-
new workout style.
It's a new workout style. Yeah. But the true definition of yoga, only few people know. Just realized I did not share the screen, right? Okay. Okay. So yoga, as everyone said, unite, connect, join the living entity, which is the soul, with Bhagavan, Sri Krishna. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita teaches the fundamental knowledge or the beginning of knowledge is to know who am I? Soul. I am the soul. I'm not this body. I'm the eternal soul. Body is temporary, whereas the soul is eternal. So the soul is indestructible. Krishna teaches knowledge about soul in chapter 2. We touched upon a little bit in device course. So that's the beginning of the knowledge of the soul, the fundamental or the beginning of the knowledge. And then there is knowledge about God. And then most importantly, the relationship between soul and God, relationship between living entity and God. So is somebody drawing on my screen here?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought in the previous screen, I thought there was already a line in the slide, but now I realize somebody is drawing. Okay. Wow. I didn't know that somebody can control my screen. Okay. How is that possible? I did not grant the host role.
The kids know nowadays because they are.
That happens even during our regular Vedic school.
Yeah.
Kids will do whatever. They are listening, they're chatting
Yeah.
amongst themselves, they're
On
drawing
fire,
something,
yeah.
they will make us out of the class.
Yeah.
They'll put us out of the class.
Yeah.
And we don't
Probably since ChatGPT is taken over your screen.
Chat GPT. Yeah. Okay. So yoga is that process that connects living entities with God. So we were with Krishna in the spiritual world, and then we developed hatred towards Krishna. We developed hatred towards Krishna, and then we wanted to become God. We wanted to enjoy like God. Instead of serving God, we wanted to enjoy like God. Why everybody is serving God? Why not all the people serve me? Why not I become God? So we developed those desires. We developed those desires and hatred towards Krishna. And then Krishna said, all right, I will create a material world and send you there. You figure out if you can become God. You can experiment if you can become God. And that's how Krishna created the material world and sent all the rebellious souls. We are all prisoners who are living in the material world. We are all prisoners. That's why we are suffering. And we have forgotten that relationship with God. So Bhagavad Gita helps us revive that relationship with Krishna. And it helps us go back to Krishna, to the spiritual world, and never come back to this miserable material world. Then Bhagavad Gita is also known as love book. Is that true, or is it a book about fighting? It's a book about war, right? So it should be titled as the war book, right? Instead of love book, war book.
You fight a war for love. You can fight a war for love. So it's a love book.
Yeah. So in India, there is a misconception that, especially the elder people, they tell, don't read Bhagavad Gita, don't keep Bhagavad Gita at home, because it will lead to battles. It will lead to quarrels between wife and husband, or the family members, or neighbors, among the friends. They say because it's a book of war. It's all about fighting. So, but what does Sanjaya declare after hearing entire Bhagavad Gita from Krishna? What does Sanjaya say? Does anyone know Sanjaya?
Yeah.
The secretary, Dhritarashtra secretary. So Dhritarashtra, because he is blind and he is in Hastinapur, the battle is happening it was happening in Kurukshetra. So Dhritarashtra wanted to know what was happening in the battlefield. Then he asked Sanjaya to explain what was happening. Sanjaya, he had a boon from Vasudev to see what is happening in a remote place. So being situated in Hastinapur, Sanjaya was able to see what's happening in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and he was narrating all the scenery to Dhritarashtra. After hearing entire Bhagavad Gita, Sanjaya declared in the last shloka of Bhagavad Gita, 18.78, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Sanjaya says, wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mysticism, and wherever there is Arjuna, the great archer, there is opulence, victory, morality, and extraordinary power. So Sanjaya is declaring there is opulence and victory. Wherever there is Bhagavad Gita, there is opulence and victory. Now, what about that misconception that people have in India? If you keep Bhagavad Gita at home or if you read Bhagavad Gita, it will lead to quarrels. So that is completely false.
May I say something, sir?
Yes, Auntie ji.
Sir, there is you are telling very nicely and explaining the things. But one thing I can say you, sir, not about Bhagavad Gita, that we should keep Bhagavad Gita at home. In India, it is those who are really know about Gita, they keep Bhagavad Gita at home. They don't say their children that it is a book of war. No, sir, it is not. Sorry for that.
Some parents do, because my father told me not to read Bhagavad Gita. Yeah.
People say that
Yeah.
Mahabharata as well.
Sir,
Ramayana, that's
it is about a myth. There is a myth about for Mahabharata, but it is a myth about Mahabharata because
And
there is a
where is
quarrel
Bhagavad
about
Gita coming
brothers.
from?
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita is coming from Mahabharata.
So, but for
Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata.
for Mahabharata, not
Yeah.
for Gita. Yeah, Mahabharata, but
Yeah.
not about this Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is just like a, I can say, it is a word of God. We accept it. So I do not want to cross you, sir. So please.
Yeah, no. Thank you for the.
I don't want to cross.
Yeah, no. Thank you for the note.
I honor you. I am listening
people,
you. So please do
people
not
say
take it that I am crossing you. I am not crossing. Sorry for that.
Nothing like that. Because Mahabharata, see, even I have not seen. So far, Mahabharata I have not seen. That book is rarely available. Whether online or even the physical copy of the Mahabharata book, very rarely people have it. But Bhagavad Gita, everyone has it. So in one sense, this is a representation of Mahabharata. And the elder people, they have a misconception that if you keep Bhagavad Gita, see, first of all, they have not read Bhagavad Gita, right? If they read Bhagavad Gita, then they know that there is nothing about war in this book. It's all about Krishna's instructions, how to lead a good life and how to revive our relationship with Krishna. The problem is they have not read Bhagavad Gita. That's why they say that it's a book of quarrels and war.
We have a family friend who are very stringent that in their family
they
do not keep Mahabharata or
they don't keep Mahabharata at home, Prabhu. And as Auntie Ji and you, both of you are saying the same thing. I think that this is a misconception. This is a myth, and this is what we are also emphasizing.
Some of them are really strong about this belief that we should not keep it.
Yeah.
And the reason is, I mean, we try to argue or talk to them about this. That if you're talking about this, that there is war in that, even Ramayana has war.
Yeah.
So what is it that is making you not keep this book? Her answer is, this is war between the families.
Yeah.
This is what it happens if you keep that book. There will be wars in the families.
Yeah.
So that's what the conception, the misconception that people have.
Yeah. So there'll be a war if you don't have Krishna.
Yeah.
If you don't have Krishna in your life, there'll be a war. So to avoid the war, you need to keep Krishna in your life. You need to bring Krishna in your life. Keep Krishna in the center of your life. Okay. So okay, so but why is it called a love book?
Sentimental relation between Krishna and Arjuna, the love they share, the love Krishna shares for Arjuna.
Okay. Okay, anyone else?
Leave hatred and just fall in love with everyone.
Leave hatred and okay, love everyone. Okay, that's a good point. Anything else?
Bhakti is all about loving God.
Mm-hmm.
So it teaches Bhakti Yoga. So it's
Yeah.
originally a book.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Good progress. Vasu. Madhav, yes.
Prabhupada documentary, and it said that since we're all jivas, we're part of one family, and that gives us a reason to love each other.
Excellent. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Okay. So it's called love book because Krishna is giving us these instructions out of his love for us. Every shloka in Bhagavad Gita, the 700 shlokas that Krishna spoke, is like a love letter to each one of us. So remember those good olden days where we used to write letters, to parents or to friends. Today I met with one of our family friends. So she was telling how she and her close friend, she was visiting from Washington, D.C. So I met with both of them, and they have been friends since 7th grade. Okay. Now they are in mid of 40s. Okay. So she was telling how they used to write letters to each other. Those days there were no phones, right? No phones, no emails. I mean, landline phone was there, but they used to write letters. And when you see a letter, you become very emotional, and it's very personal, right? It's very personal. Letter is very personal. The phone is not so much personal, but when you see the letters written by your close friend, you become so emotional, and you read the same letter 10 times, 20 times. Whenever you miss that person, you can open that letter and read. So like that, this Bhagavad Gita, 700 slokas, each shloka is like a love letter from Krishna to each one of us. Krishna loves us more than we love Krishna. Or Krishna is missing us more than we miss Krishna. We have come to this material world because we developed hatred towards Krishna, and we are suffering here. So whether we remember Krishna or not, whether we miss him or not, whether we want to go back to him or not, but Krishna is always in great anxiety how my children can come back to me. Krishna is always in great anxiety. How can I help my children to come back to me so that they can be happy forever? They don't have to suffer, and they can be happy forever. So, and Krishna expresses his love in the form of these shlokas, 700 shlokas. So just like, imagine, Sahana. Now she is 4 years, right? Yeah, 4 years. Now imagine Pavan, right? Pavan and Harshani. So they start writing the journal about Samarth and Sahana both. Like all the good memories that they have with Samarth and Sahana, all the naughty things, cute things that they have done since childhood. Now, when they grow up, when they are in 20s or 30s, when they read that journal, wouldn't you feel happy, Samarth?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is that book all about? About you and your sister. But what do you see in that book when you read after 20 or 30 years?
I see the same thing.
Yeah.
And also me and my sister.
Yeah,
Doing the big and all about
but it's filled with what?
love.
Filled with love from your parents. Yeah, it's full of love that your parents had for you and your sister. Okay, so by the way, I write journal about my daughter. I stopped now. She's 18 now. But yeah, I used to write journal about all these, cute things, the small cute words that she used to speak, and there is this telepathy that happens between my daughter and me. So I think of something, and then my daughter also thinks of the same thing. I don't express that in words, but after some time, she tells the same exact thing. Or the other way, she thinks about something, she does not say about it, and then after a while, I say about that same exact thing. There were many, very rare incidents. So like that, I maintained a journal. Now I'm sure when she grows up and she looks at that journal, she will recognize the love that I have for her. Just like that, Krishna, is pouring his love in 700 shlokas. Hey children, please read these instructions, grow up kiddos, and come back to me. I'm in great anxiety to see all of you in spiritual world. So that's why this is a book of love. Okay, now, is Bhagavad Gita a religious book or spiritual book? What do you say, Aman and I forgot your name. Varsha, yeah. Spiritual book. Okay. Uncle Ji?
It is a spiritual book, but I will go ahead from this. This is holistic book for all of us.
Okay.
It consists of material as well as spiritual book.
Okay. You have anything to say?
I think it's more of a spiritual book.
Yeah.
Because religious is tied to group of people.
Okay.
And human is always human across various religions, and they go through same materialistic life.
Yeah.
And sorrows, good, happy, sad, and everything.
Yeah.
So this is a book which gives a path or a manual, direction or a navigation. So
yeah.
Spiritual.
Okay. Anyone online, Shashank or anyone else? Is Bhagavad Gita a religious book or spiritual book?
It is both spiritual as well as religious.
It is
spiritual because it enhances our spiritual outlook towards God, and religious because it is one of the most important books for the Hindus, basically.
Yeah, your voice is not very clear, Auntie Ji. Can you speak again? Maybe you're away from the phone or...
I said it is both spiritual and religious.
Okay, I got
spiritual
that.
Because it... can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Spiritual because it connects us, it helps us to understand ourselves and connect us with Krishna. Okay. And religious because it is one of the most important, said to be one of the most important book for the Hindu religion or Hindus. Okay. Not Hindu, anybody who wants to read it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, these are all valid answers. It is a spiritual book. More than religion, it is a spiritual book. And so what exactly is spiritual? Let's try.
May I, sir?
Yes.
May I?
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Spiritual, yeah. It is, I'm telling about this is spiritual book and religious both, but more of it is spiritual because it connects us about our Chaitanya Atma ki milan Paramatma se.
Okay.
And it shows our inner features, I can say, inner features.
Yeah.
And the way how to connect Paramatma. Okay. Yeah. So it is more spiritual. Anybody can read it. This is my opinion.
Good, good, very good.
Rest on you, sir.
So let's try to understand this word spiritual. Okay. So everyone knows about rituals. So what's a ritual? Ritual. What's a ritual?
It's a custom pertaining to a particular community or a group of people.
Yeah.
They do.
It's a custom tradition that you follow or do when you go to a temple, you know. So there are different rituals prescribed in Vedas to achieve some desired results. Okay. Or there are different traditions or customs that you follow because your parents told you or your grandparents told you. Those are all rituals. And most of the rituals, we do not know why we are doing those. Simply, we simply perform those rituals mechanically. We go to the temple, we ring the bell, we bow down in front of the god, we take tirtham and prasadam, we sit there for 5 minutes and then come home. Other than that, we don't know anything about what we are doing. Why we are ringing the bell. First of all, why we are going to the temple and why do we worship God? What should we ask from God? We don't know anything. We simply perform these rituals. And only few people question, you know, why we need to do these things. And most of the times, parents don't have proper answers. The other day I was in the temple and one family came to the temple and they have 3 or 4-year-old son. The son was pointing to the deities and asking, who is this? And then the parents, they were shutting him down and asking him to keep quiet. It's not that parents don't know. Krishna, Radha, you know, Rama, Sita, Lakshmana, Hanuma, everybody knows. But parents were telling that boy to keep quiet. So that's an opportunity. When the boy is asking, that's an opportunity to tell about all the deities and their names and everything, right? Rather, the parents were asking him to shut him down. Then I carried that boy and I explained about all the deities and he was very happy. So, so that's a problem. You know, either people don't ask questions, or even if people ask questions, the parents, they don't have answers, or they simply say that, no, don't ask questions, just simply follow. Just simply follow. Whereas spiritual means when you know why you are doing what you are doing, the same activity becomes spiritual. Otherwise, it's a ritual. That's the difference between spiritual and ritual. If you perform something mechanically, it's simply a ritual. But if you know the spirit of what you are doing, if you know why you are doing what you are doing, then it becomes spiritual. The purpose of performing all the rituals is to get purified and realize the true self. Realize the true spirit within us. We are seeing this material body, but within us, there is a spirit soul. So the purpose of everything that we do, purpose of all the rituals, customs, and traditions is to get purified so that we see the true spirit in us. We realize the true spirit in us. That's spirituality. So Bhagavad Gita teaches the process of true spirit in us. Okay, right now we are only identifying with our bodies. You know, if somebody asks you, who are you? We say, I'm a man, I'm an Indian, I'm so-and-so, I'm Microsoftian or Amazonian, you know, something. Or I'm a man, woman, you know, we have different identities. Okay. But these are all temporary, you know, bodily identities. Our true eternal identity is that we are spirit soul. We are eternal spirit soul. We are part and parcel of Krishna and we are servant of Krishna. Krishna is the master and we are servants of Krishna. And when we say master and servant, it's not like imposing some slavery on us, right? So just like the relation between father and child, it's like master and master and servant. But it's a relation of love. The servitorship involves love there. It's not a imposed slavery there.
Not forcible.
It's not forced upon us, and it's not imposed upon us. It's not a slavery that's imposed upon us. It's full of love. That relation is based on love. So ritual and spiritual, we just talked. And as Pavan said, right, it's not for a group of people. Ritual means it's for a group of people, for a community. Whereas spiritual means it's for everyone. So, and Bhagavad Gita, it's not a religion book, because religion is a way of life. Okay, religion is a way of life. For example, Hindu religion, it's a way of life, culture. Okay, whereas Bhagavad Gita is beyond religion, beyond culture, beyond all those materialistic things. So it teaches us the Sanatana Dharma, our eternal duty, our eternal occupational duty as a spirit soul. In the spiritual world, what was our eternal occupational duty? That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana, the word Sanatana means eternal, and Dharma is duty. So what is our eternal duty? So what's our eternal duty?
Loving God. Loving God.
Loving God, but yeah, loving God. Okay. More than that? Yeah, serving God as a servant. Yeah, to serve God. To serve God with love. To serve God with love. That's our eternal duty, Sanatana Dharma. So Bhagavad Gita teaches that Sanatana Dharma to us. And it's not only to Indians. It's not specific to Americans. It's for everyone in the world. It's for everyone in the entire creation. It's for Chinese, it's for Japanese, it's for everyone. On the Gita Jayanti day, I was leading the program where we were reciting all the shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. And I just said this, Bhagavad Gita is for everyone. It is for Chinese, it is for Japanese, Indians, for everyone. And then within 2 minutes, a Chinese couple came there. They came and sat in the program. So it's for everyone. Yeah. It's universal for all people in the world. So what's the time?
8:10.
8:10? Okay, so we have 21 minutes. Yeah. Now, which Bhagavad Gita should I read? There are probably 1,000 different versions of Bhagavad Gita in the market.
Every temple, every pilgrim should have some version.
Every spiritual organization has a different version of Bhagavad Gita. So which one should I read? Yeah, Asu.
Why are there so many versions? If there is one version of what Krishna said, so
yeah.
If everybody thinks the same thing, why are there so many versions?
Yeah, that's a good question.
They read something and they write book. But if you trace the whatever history, right? There ought to be an authentic source of this is what Krishna said to Arjuna.
Yeah.
If everybody derives from there,
yeah,
maybe the color will change, but everything else has to be the same.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's so many.
Yeah. So now imagine a conversation between you and Aman. Okay. Let's say Aman tells you something about, about what? Yeah. So ChatGPT. Now you go outside this room and let's say Sudhakar meets with you outside. Sudhakar asks you, oh, how was the program yesterday? And then you say the conversation between you and Aman. And Sudhakar asks you, oh, what was the conversation about? Then you will say it was about ChatGPT. And he was curious to know what is ChatGPT all about. Now, you may not say exactly whatever Aman said.
Okay.
So you will say whatever you remember, or you might add something or subtract something. So that is version 2.
I see where you're going.
Okay. Now Sudhakar meets with Pavan next day at Fred Meyer. And he asks, now Sudhakar gives version 2. Okay, now Pavan meets with Vipul and he asks. Now he gets version 3. So like that, there'll be 1,000 versions.
Next time, Prabhu, I say go talk to Aman.
Yes, that's the perfect answer. That's the perfect answer.
So actually, whatever you are teaching us, whatever you are telling us.
Yeah.
So every person has a perception of imagination, or at least taking into their mind or heart or soul, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a different version. I can read it. Right? Meaning might be the same, but the way we take into ourselves when we communicate is different.
Yeah. Now the words can differ, but the essence should not differ. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, in this today's age, that's a problem.
We should not delete or add.
Yeah, we should not delete or add anything on our own. You know, the same message, whatever Aman said about ChatGPT, the essence can be conveyed in different words, paraphrased. It can be paraphrased, but not saying that ChatGPT, saying that Srinivas Kasam invested 20 million in ChatGPT. I wish, I had that. So,
I take classic example here. So what we hear from Bhagavad Gita, we know that Krishna says that whatever duties you are doing, perform your duties, but do not be attached to the results.
Yeah.
We do that. Now that we know that. And then another version is Neki ka darya mein dal.
What is that?
Like it's a saying, right? They will say that it's coming from Bhagavad Gita. It says that do good and put your results into the river.
Now, what is that Hindi thing you said?
Neki kar, neki means good.
Yeah.
Neki kar darya mein dal.
Neki kar darya mein dal. Okay.
But Krishna says do not be attached to the results.
Yeah.
And the version is neki kar darya mein dal.
Yeah. So do not even do your work.
No, do your good work.
Throw the results. Okay. Yeah.
That's how it changes, and you will see that like there's so many messages circulating around that this is coming from Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think the most popular one is WhatsApp Bhagavad Gita.
WhatsApp version of Bhagavad Gita.
It's more popular because it gets forwarded like anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, different things. You see different pieces of information on WhatsApp. This is Bhagavad Gita, that is Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna said so and so in Bhagavad Gita, but
We never see it.
we never see that in Bhagavad Gita. The other day you were telling, right?
Yes,
Yeah, one of your relatives said, where is Bhagavad Gita?
No, and
Krishna
he's
said this
saying,
in Bhagavad
एक झूठ, and this is also a popular one. अगर एक झूठ से किसी का भला होता है, like if you say a lie and if it do some good to somebody,
Yeah.
then that झूठ, that lie is better than 100 truths.
Yeah.
And he's telling me that it is written in Bhagavad Gita.
It's in Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, if I wouldn't have read it, I would have read.
Yeah.
Then I brought the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, here is Bhagavad Gita. Show me.
Show me the verse. So yeah, like that, different scholars, different philosophers over a period of time, they have written different commentaries on Bhagavad Gita according to their understanding, and most of the times there is a personal motive why they have different interpretations. There's a personal motive. Because in India there are so many self-proclaimed godmen, right? Okay, let me mute this line. Okay. So there are so many self-proclaimed godmen in India. 2 days ago, I heard there is a new Baba, Jilebi Baba. His name is Jilebi Baba. You can look up later. Jilebi Baba. There is Pilot Baba, Taxi Baba. These are the real names. So, so all these people, and there was this rascal, right? Nityananda in Redmond. I think they still have a temple there. Yeah, people still believe him. People still worship him. So even that rascal also has a huge, big, big size Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. It almost looks as if that is the most authentic version of Bhagavad Gita. The way they decorated and, the size of the book, it almost looks as if that is the most authentic one. But it's full of nonsense. So different people have written different commentaries. Even our, the first president, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, he had written a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. There are many philosophers who had written commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. So how do we know which one is genuine? Which Bhagavad Gita should I read? Let me share this again. Yeah. And there is this Osho, you can see here on the screen. He was another nonsense guy. He came to Portland, Oregon, and very soon he was arrested. Now he's no more. There are so many different Gitas. So which one should I read? So there was a philosopher and scholar by the name Robert N. Minor. So he conducted an unbiased study of Bhagavad Gita, all different versions of Bhagavad Gita. So he obtained copies of different copies of Bhagavad Gita in the market, and then he conducted an unbiased study of Bhagavad Gita. He does not belong to ISKCON, by the way. Okay, he conducted an unbiased study of Bhagavad Gita, and he came to a conclusion saying that, is it clear here? The text is not clear, okay, but I can read it out. I think it's the next slide. Yeah, so this is what he concluded. Madhav, can you read out this louder?
Prabhupada's Gita probably comes closest to the intent of the original author.
Yeah, now if a small child is saying that, it is true. Okay. You watched the documentary? Yeah. His documentary, Robert N. Minor? Yeah. Okay. So now he came up with this conclusion. Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita probably comes closest to the intent of the original author.
Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita.
It is not what? Me, Bhavya, na? Okay. Bhavya?
You can read it. You can post it in the
Yes.
Yeah. You're saying something, Bhavya?
I'm reading this.
You're reading. Okay, what are you reading?
You show the picture of.
Okay, yeah. Can you read that? Can you read out that louder again?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Gita.
Uh-huh. Probably. Yeah.
Lost to the intent of
the original author. Okay, good. Now, if two children are saying, that must be true. Okay. That's my intent. Balavakku is Brahmavakku. Okay, so it is true. Okay, so there are different ways of knowing which one is genuine or not, right? Now, this is one way of knowing that. A person who has conducted unbiased study of different commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, he came up with this conclusion. And second method is, we are saying so. ISKCON is saying that Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita is the most genuine and the purest Bhagavad Gita. Okay, now you have to believe that. Okay, if I say so, how many of you will believe? 50% will believe, 50% may not believe, right? Okay, it will become blind faith. Okay, so the correct way of knowing anything, whether it is genuine or not, is using Anubhava Praman. Okay, experiential knowledge, Anubhava Praman. So you experience something and then you figure out by yourself. Just like, if you use a GPS, let's imagine you are using GPS for the first time to go from Bothell to, Stevens Pass. Now you put the address Stevens Pass in the
Lake
GPS.
Stevens.
Huh?
Lake Stevens.
Okay, no, you are in Lake Stevens,
Yeah,
but there is a
okay.
Stevens
Yeah,
Pass,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let's say Lake Stevens.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're talking about Lake Stevens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you put Lake Stevens address in the GPS, and then you start driving. Now, on the green board, you see exit number 125, 195, or whatever, and your GPS is also showing the same thing. Then you are cross-verifying, and you get some confidence in the GPS, saying that, okay, GPS is in the right track. It's taking me to the destination properly. Then after a few more exits, you will see that number there. Now it is 212. Now GPS is also showing the same thing. Okay, so more confidence. Then you build your confidence like that, and then next time you don't do this cross verification every time, because you already got complete faith on the GPS, saying that it will take you to the destination properly. Similarly, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 9, shloka 2, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartumavyayam. Krishna says Pratyakshaavagamam. Pratyaksha means self. Avagamam means realization. Avagamam means realization. So you realize this knowledge by your own perception, by your own direct perception. Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam. This knowledge by your own perception, direct perception. So you read one instruction of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, and then you verify, does it make sense to you? If it doesn't make sense to you in the first time when you read it, it's okay. But there will be a situation, in life when that instruction makes 100% sense to you. So like that, you verify, you read different commentaries and you verify if they make sense to you or not. And I'm sure you will come to a conclusion that Srila Prabhupada's commentary is the most authentic and the purest one. Because he imparted the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any adulteration, no addition, no subtraction. Whatever Krishna wanted to convey, Srila Prabhupada conveyed the same message, just like a mailman. Mailman, when there are different mails, he simply delivers the mail into the mailbox without adding or subtracting anything. Now imagine the mailman doing addition and subtraction to the mails. Let's say somebody sends $100 bills in that. Now if the mailman he can see, right? When he looks at the mail, he can see if there is currency note or not. Now he can very well, take out that note and put a $5 bill in that and deliver it to the mailbox. So now how do we know whether the sender has sent $100 or $5? Unless you speak to the sender, there's no way of knowing it. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada simply delivered the message of Krishna like a mailman. No adulteration, no addition, no subtraction. That's why it is the most purest and authentic version of Bhagavad Gita.
So all these Bhagavad Gita, various versions of Bhagavad Gita, do they rewrite the slokas according to their understanding, or they just write the meaning, keep the sloka as it is, or 700 what are the slokas?
That's a good point. There are two things to it, right? One is some people, they even change the shloka. Okay, for example, there is a shloka in chapter 4. Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha tasya kartaram apimam viddhi kartaram. So Krishna says, I have created this varnashrama dharma with 4 classes of men: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So that if you look at the Sanskrit verse, right? Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. So how this classification has been done by Krishna? The 4 classes of men based on guna and karma. Guna is the qualities one has, and karma is the activities one performs. So based on the guna and karma, based on the qualities and activities one performs, a person can be classified as Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya, or Shudra. It is not by caste. A person known as Brahmana, not by caste, but only by the guna and karma. But the same shloka, different people have modified, saying that Janma Karma Vibhagashaha. Instead of Guna Karma Vibhagashaha, Janma Karma Vibhagashaha. By birth. They're saying by birth. Janma is by birth. So the classification is done by birth, which is not true. And that is the problem in India, right? Yes. So if a person is born in Brahmin family, that means by default, he's a Brahmana. Even if he's eating meat, he's a Brahmana. So just because he's born in Brahmin family, he's a Brahmana. So that is one way of adulteration, how people change the shlokas also. And second way is people change the meaning of the shlokas. Okay, for example, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishvesi satyam te pratijani priyosime. Krishna says, always think of me, focus your mind upon me. That word me, who is saying that? Krishna is saying. That means the word me refers to Krishna, right? Now, open your YouTube and look up the word, look up Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. Okay? I'll show you actually now. Yeah, I found it.
So what a waste of time. And the way to find out this truth is through knowledge. There is no other way. The only way to find out this truth of your true nature is through knowledge. And that's why he's saying, the wise people,
not this video. Yeah.
Any situation, any circumstance,
Okay, so
and
you
you
pay
are
attention
sharp.
to this and listen.
You're like a razor's edge. You will not be distracted by anything in this world. Otherwise, every little thing, you just turn your head, somebody smiles, you also smile. In this room, it's happening. Why? Distracted. Let that person smile. Why are you wasting your time? But you will be distracted. Then you will look the other side. Somebody else is smiling. That person you look at. Something, you're fidgety. Can't concentrate because there is no focus. There's nothing you want to achieve. If you want to achieve something, you will focus. So if you still practice, then you come to meditation. You qualify for meditation. So this we've already studied.
Zakir is excited.
51, 52, 53. We've already studied that. Now again in 61, he's saying, come back to this verse. You can connect the two now.
So she's talking about a shloka in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 61, where Krishna says, Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vashehi yasyendriyani tasya prajna pratishtita. Krishna says, having restrained your senses, keeping them under full control, one who fixes his mind upon me, he is said to be situated in proper consciousness. Okay, now let's see what this lady is interpreting this as.
Having controlled them all, what? The senses. You got to start with physical discipline. If you are not disciplined physically, forget mental discipline. Only when you have completely controlled your senses, you can sit focused on me. See, when Krishna says me,
Now here,
when any master uses first person singular, it is not Mr. Krishna. This height, this weight. It's not the personality Krishna. Krishna is representing the truth, the reality, the ultimate state of perfection. He's only a symbol. So you can cancel me and put the truth, the reality there.
yeah. See how nonsense that is. She's saying cancel me. That means cancel Krishna and put truth. Krishna is only representing truth there. Whereas Krishna is the absolute truth. He is the absolute truth. Krishna is saying, fix your mind upon me. And she is saying, cancel Krishna and put truth there. So what is truth? What is truth? Krishna is truth. Krishna is the absolute truth. There is a chapter in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute truth, where Krishna talks in detail about his opulences and everything, his qualities. So now she is saying, cancel me and put truth there. So this is how they misinterpret. Yeah. So there are two different ways. Either they change the shlokas or they change the meaning of it. Now I'll show you the exact shloka.
The problem is whoever follows the people,
Mhm.
they think they are right, right?
They think?
They think she's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll come to that. So, okay. So now look at this. One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, fixes his consciousness upon me, is known as a man of steady intelligence. Krishna is telling about Sthita Prajna person. Who is, Arjuna asks, what are the qualities and symptoms of a Sthita Prajna person? So Krishna is answering to that. So now here, when Krishna is saying me, that means it's referring to him, not to anything else. Now it's a very clear indication that if somebody is misinterpreting, is replacing me with something else, that means it's not a bona fide Bhagavad Gita. Now the people who are following them, who are in that organization, they believe 200% that that is correct.
Yes.
Okay. But over a period of time, if they are fortunate enough in this life, they will realize that whatever they are hearing is bogus. If they are fortunate.
One thing is that there is some result of following something, right? That result they will not get.
Yeah.
Basically, people has to go through the experiences.
Yeah.
Then only they realize.
So let's say the result is that you should, over a period of time, you should see some transformation in yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you should feel at peace of heart and all. So they will not get that result.
Yeah.
And that's why I think one of the things that also, when Prabhupada's Gita was, circulated, it transformed people, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I haven't read any Gita. I don't know any ABC.
Then you are in the best position actually.
So that's what I'm asking. So okay, at some point I might question myself, right? So
yeah,
why this?
Yeah.
Why not that?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to understand. How do I take the right path?
And we encourage that.
Yeah.
So Prabhupada says it is not blind faith. It is scientific. It is a scientific process. Krishna consciousness is very scientific process. We are not asking people to blindly follow this philosophy and just become, monks from tomorrow. So you inquire and you ask questions and get clarifications and whatever you said, right? Okay. So you read this and you read something else also. You compare both and see what makes sense to you. And if you still have time, you can even go through that experience, whatever the process they are teaching. You can follow that process and
I think
figure out,
the
if it
main
makes
thing
sense.
is experience is the main thing here actually.
Yeah.
Go through everything and then only you can realize what is the right path.
Experience, that is one way of knowing the truth. See, there are 4 classes of men, right? When it comes to intelligence, there are 4 classes of men. One is a person, he hears something and he believes in that. He learns from it.
Yeah.
Simply by hearing, he learns from it. That is first class intelligence. Second class intelligence is person, he he hears, but he does not learn. No. Second class intelligence is he sees someone else going through the suffering, but still he does not learn a lesson. That is second class intelligence. Third class intelligence is a person, he goes through the experience by himself, whether it is suffering or happiness, whatever it is. He goes through the experience by himself, still he does not learn the lesson. That is third class intelligence. Fourth class intelligence is no. First class intelligence is simply by hearing, you learn the lesson. Second class intelligence is you see someone else going through the suffering and you learn the lesson. Third class is you go through the suffering and you learn. Fourth class is you go through the suffering, but you don't learn it. Still, you don't learn it. That is fourth class. So now, definitely we don't want to be fourth class. Intelligent people. Most of us are third class intelligent. There are very few who are second class, and then even very rare is first class intelligence. So which is best here? Obviously, first class intelligence. We want to be first class intelligent men or women. So simply by hearing from authority, we want to learn, because the authority has seen the truth. Whoever is teaching, the spiritual master, guru, they have seen the truth. So instead of me wasting my time, instead of me reinventing the wheel, so let me put my trust and faith in that authority and accept the truth. That is the first class intelligence. Just like a child wants to know who is father, then the best method is ask the mother. Instead of asking 1,000 people, simply ask the mother. The mother can show the father. So you start with that faith. Okay, you pretend to be a first class intelligent person, but at the same time you can cross verify, you can validate that information by going through the experience by yourself. Yeah, you can verify whatever you have, whatever faith you put, being a first class intelligent person, you can verify by going through some experiences also. Yeah, and you don't need to go through every experience, right? To verify 700 slokas, you don't have to go through 700 experiences. Okay.
Life will not be enough, right?
Yeah. So just like when you cook rice, you don't have to touch each and every grain to know whether the rice is cooked properly or not. Just 1 or 2 grains and you know whether the rice is cooked properly or not. Similarly, there is a process to verify whether it is true or not. Even the science also works on the same model, right?
Yeah.
It's a 3-step model. There is a theory, experiment, and conclusion. Quality also. I muted it, but I think there are. No, not them. Their line is already muted. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so which Bhagavad Gita should I read? So definitely Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is. That's why Srila Prabhupada named it as Bhagavad Gita as it is. There is no other book that says Bhagavad Gita as it is, because Prabhupada conveyed Krishna's message as it is. No adulteration, no addition, subtraction.
So do we need to go through the classes and while do reading simultaneously, or just listen, understand, then go back to the reading to get more context of it?
Both. So you come to the class every Saturday or Sunday, and then when you are at home, whenever you get even 10 minutes a day, so you read Bhagavad Gita or go to YouTube and play some lectures and listen from it. So both. Yeah.
From YouTube means a lot of videos we will get it, but we don't know.
Is the right one.
Every search you add ISKCON. Let's say Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, ISKCON. Otherwise you will see, right, that that lady Bhagavad Gita came.
Whenever we go back, that's right. If we put on something comes up, right? So if the intellectual person is talking about something, when we don't know anything, we think that might be right. I think
exactly.
she was talking about, right? Somebody said this is what in Bhagavad Gita. They might have read from somewhere, or somebody preached for them the same thing. So.
If you have not read Bhagavad Gita, then you might believe that is true. Now there is a very recent commentary on Bhagavad Gita. It's called Bhagavad Gita Comes Alive. Bhagavad Gita Comes Alive, written by an American, George Harrison. His name is George Harrison. George Harrison, I think it's the correct name. Okay, one second.
George Thompson.
No. There is a ISKCON devotee, George Harrison.
Okay.
I think the other person who has written a commentary, his name is also George Harrison or something like that. Let me search Bhagavad Gita Comes Alive. Yeah, this is the one. So what is his name? Jeffrey Armstrong. Okay, I totally got the name wrong. Jeffrey Armstrong. Yeah. So he claims that his Bhagavad Gita or his commentary is the most purest one, the most purest and accurate version. Now I listened to one or two lectures of him, and it's all crap. It's all crap.
Prabhuji, it's cheaper than the ISKCON Bhagavad Gita. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it is not. That is only. I mean, our Bhagavad Gita is only $10. Sometimes they might charge $15 if you think you are you need to pay more price so that you recognize the value of it.
So you won't get any result if you go with 13.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 8:46. I think. I have more slides. We can continue to next class. By the way, in this class, the format of this class will be, after going through this introduction to Bhagavad Gita, we will discuss each and every shloka from Bhagavad Gita. We'll understand the shloka, the word for word meaning. For example, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanardhaya vinashaya chadushkritam. So we'll understand the shloka, word for word meaning, the translation. What does that shloka mean? Paritranaya sadhunam. Krishna comes to deliver his devotees and to kill the miscreants. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam. And we will also read Srila Prabhupada's commentary on that shloka, purport. So what Prabhupada has said about that verse. Because if you simply read the shloka and then translation, it looks as if you are understanding it. You're only understanding the English portion of it, but you are not really understanding the true meaning of it, essence of it. So then we need to read Acharya's commentaries. Okay, so if you look at Prabhupada's purport, then we can understand the essence of it. So that will be the format of this class after this introduction. Introduction will last for few weeks, and then we'll start taking a deep dive into the shlokas. And only today, the class is Saturday evening, 6:30 to 8:30. But from next week onwards, it will be Sunday morning, 11 to 1. So how many of you cannot make it? I'm assuming majority of you can make it, but please raise your hand if you cannot make it.
Because he has some Telugu class.
Oh, he has a Telugu class. Is it online or
Online.
Online?
Online.
What time?
11 to 12:30.
11 to 12:30. Is it okay? You can sit in the room and attend the class.
Only one class, right? Otherwise, always
No,
Saturday evening.
every week.
Every week.
Every week, Sunday morning, just like how our device class used
You
to
can
be.
connect your class from here.
I think evening works for everyone, right? Like evening they don't go anywhere, so it should be fine.
His problem is summer. In summer, you need to go out.
Yeah, that might be the case for majority of the people. When we come to summer, we will revisit. But until then, I think the ideal time would be Sunday, 11 to 1. So is that okay? If we can. So it's only 1 hour, right? 1.5 hour.
Yeah.
So do you need to sit with him or he's all by himself?
No, he's all by himself.
Okay.
So we'll figure it out.
You can come here. You can come here, attend the class.
You can attend your, the way you do at home, you can attend your class together.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
You can sit in separate room. Yeah.
Telugu class?
Telugu class.
Set you up.
Yeah.
Give you a desk, chair, you can sit and do your class.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And then where is your son today?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen him. So you can make a good friend here. Samet, his name is Samet. So he's little elder to you, but still you can make good friendship with him. He's really good. He's the best.
Audience.
He's the best. He's the best young child I have seen so far. He's very quiet. He always sits in the classes. He listens through it. See, now I did not even realize that he's sitting there. So he's very, very nice. So you'll make friendship with him slowly. Okay. That's the advantage of coming here. You can attend the class. After that, make friendship with him. We'll all sit together, eat. It's a picnic, family picnic. You don't want to miss that. Sure? Think about it. Yeah. So any questions before we wrap up?
You said it total 700 slokas. That is going to continue. Every week it will be 1 sloka.
Every week it will be few slokas. One week it can be 3 or 4 slokas. One week it can be only 1 sloka.
Yeah, depending on the
Sometimes one sloka can go
Go
multiple
series.
weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Complex. How much we can take out of it?
Yeah. So
And it is what we have experienced is it is best when it is interactive.
yeah.
So that clears our doubts even better.
So we should not say Bhagavad Gita completed. We
Yeah.
should say Bhagavad Gita reading all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lifetime reading. Even if you
Anything
spend
yeah.
millions of lifetimes, you cannot fully understand Bhagavad Gita. Same Bhagavad Gita, same translation, same commentary by Acharyas. Even if you read 10 times, 20 times, every time you read it, it's a new learning. It's a new learning. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
yeah, Hare Krishna.
I just have a question. So since we are going to alter the time to 11 to 1 Pacific,
Yeah.
that's going to be quite out of the time zone for my parents back in India. So will there be some form of recording or anything
Yes,
that
yes.
they can
Yeah,
go
class will be
over?
recorded. Yes. And are you on the WhatsApp group?
Yes, I am, and so are my parents.
Yeah. So I'll share the recordings on the group.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's going to help a whole lot, so that they can go over what we did in the class.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. So these recordings, like you will paste them right after the class on the WhatsApp group?
A day or two later. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Before the next class, definitely.
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else? Any question? Any comment? Any reflection? You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait for the best part. If you like it already, then ask again after the best part.
Yes.
Just a beginning.
Huh?
Just a beginning. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Nicely.
Yeah.
After dinner. Yeah, that's
You said breakfast?
no. After best part.
After best part.
part.
Oh, I heard it like breakfast. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If nothing, then we'll conclude the call here. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. We'll continue next week. We'll continue next week, Sunday, 11 to 1. And this is not the end. We have the best part about to begin now.
But like the 4 weeks when we are not here, where are you gonna spend the classes? Online or?
No, that we'll figure out. Either Jyoti's home or Kalpana's home.
Yeah.
When you said bird, I thought bird, there is no prasadam.
That must have been
We got scared, right?
Yeah.
I remember.
But Prabhu, today is
We didn't make anything. We didn't make anything.